First, thanks to my family for coming. This first poem is called If I Have Been Honest. If I have been honest, it has only been for lack of trying anything else. When someone asks where I am from, I tell them a neighborhood or state 1 or 2 over, not because there is anything wrong with mine and not to impress them, but because of the secret between me and my mouth, because it cannot be taken away. It is a little like singing in the shower or folding paper cranes and keeping them in the back of the closet. Not a hobby, concession, cracking knuckles, the things we do to reset ourselves and so that we don't do worse. A little like taking seashells from the beach. You could snuggle them back into the sand, but you don't particularly want to, and anyhow, you're tired of being trustworthy. Like smoking. Not the addiction, just whatever gets you to the end of the day. Whatever slides off your tongue when no one can see between your teeth, pulls your spine as straight as it will get. I suppose I haven't been completely open with you. I don't know if anyone really knows why they do these things. Just that they do, which is more than the lungs can say. Couldn't stop even if they tried. This is called Ode to, can you guys hear me? Yeah. Ode to Book on Desk and Precept. Pitched like a tent, kind of temporary you don't see anymore. Shepherds and summer tumbleweed, we go where the buffalo goes, where the river flows. The way the hawk flies is how we wander. We have not had visitors for some time. Tell us where you have been and how the waters from your home taste. We are all leaving soon, you know, and the grass does not remember. This poem is called Ecology. Ecology. There was once a man who laid out his veins like spaghetti and was halfway through spelling out his middle name with them when he realized he needed them back inside. Maybe that is how we all should write. One last epic, organ by artery, and no one left to read it. Save the planet the trouble of finishing us. No mourning, no ceremony, just legend after legend in the soft curl of esophagi and bowels, left for the monkeys who may yet read and divine where we went wrong. Give yourself back to the trees. Release your toenails and your trachea, your tongue and your tumors. A higher calling commands you to witness the end. There is no salvation but in myth, in the body that becomes earth and cannot be claimed. This poem is called, This is What I'll Remember About Being a Kid. This is what I'll remember about being a kid. Huddling under the covers and knowing that if an elbow or toe peeked out, whatever passing gods there were would steal it before midnight. Turn my fingers into someone else's, only 3rd grade, and I knew I owed them more than modesty. Respect. The way you don't look right at the sun and the way you don't slap your mother back. Even now, the little rituals. Apologizing to an aunt after I bounced a basketball right through its shell. Touching the bottom of the pool with both hands. As we grow, we forget how little keeps the world in check. A misplaced touch or a bad thought is not worth what it might bring. Not cracked spines, but the tiny piece of you spirits claim before dawn. Fingers that you do not recognize. If you, in the dark of childhood, let your limbs peek once from under the covers, you may never know how many gods wore your hands in the twilight. The title of this poem comes from a liturgical phrase in the Rosh Hashanah prayers, in Hebrew, Shofchim et libam, which means they poured out their hearts to God, or they pour out their hearts to God. And it also references me leaving to go to Israel. They poured out their hearts to God, and other times he had them spilled. Sometimes the words, and others the veins, always the begging, and God, O God, of our ancestors, of Abraham, of Isaac, of Jacob, of Moses, of Joshua, of Yiftach, of the smoke of supplicants or sacrifice, of martyrs, whether we knew it or all death is God gone back to his bones, all death is wet and whiny, and if I am to be a martyr, I want the words to be washed from my skin, even if my mother tries to pray for me, even if my heart is poured across my belly, even then I hope that I will not beg God and not his angel, not the bullet and not paper skin. I will not bow, no cry, no nothing, no please, please, please stop. Please, 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 please. This poem is called This Is Not a Love Poem. This is not a love poem. I don't know how I know that, but I do. The way turtles return home to give birth. Not really like that. The way you sometimes catch a baseball without meaning to. Instinct, but duller. At 2 or 3 in the morning when you want everyone you've ever loved to miss you all at once. When you want to be a tragedy or something like that. When my grandfather asks me what I will write at his funeral and then drinks more when no one is watching. That kind of love. Not much of a love, you say, but love is hardly ever much of itself. The kind of love that wants everyone to stay awake until it can fall asleep. The kind of love that is no one's baby. That says, break my good china. I was throwing it all out anyway. This poem is called There Is Nothing Quite Like. There is nothing quite like eating someone else's leftover egg salad sandwich and picking each resolute drip of egg off the carpet to remind you that people are fragile and no good ever came from a Monday. In high school, I remember how Monday leaked into the weekend. Gave every Saturday night the thickness of a confession. I didn't go to many parties, but I'm sure Monday ruined them all. The waiting of it, the slow spread and the long descent, we were witnesses, and the weekend was the holiest fast we could make of it, the inevitable dribble towards which all eggs tend, no matter where their mothers lay them. On Mondays, even the house-trained dog does not expect her pups to become pets. We are wrong again and again and again, and then we begin once more. This last poem is about a computer game I used to play when I was little called Empire Earth. It's called Playing Empire Earth. Playing Empire Earth. The computer would not let you kill the children. Men, goats, women, robots, wolves, but not the kids. Not the kids, and after you had raised and ruined anything you could, the computer regrew its farms and barracks. You could raid all you wanted, but as soon as you went home, they would already be building towers and forts and people, like cockroaches or something less vile. I will not say that when I saw the tower we built at Ground Zero, that I wondered whether some terrorist in a bunker thought of us like that, but I would like to. Skin cells that heal without meaning to or knowing. Reflex. Whether they would have thought more of us if we had left it that way, as if we didn't care how many holes they punched into the city, we would wear them like diamonds. Whether the strength is in the surgery or the scar. Whether we saw something our children will not, and knew ourselves. Thank you.